Hi, this is Nelson Ranch. So, this is a reply video to a person who had submitted his cards and my advice on what you might want to do. So, the three characters were basically Tokai Teo, the anime version, Oguri Cap, and I think it was a special week, if I'm not mistaken. I just want to double check. Yeah, special week. So for those three characters, you can actually do Pace Chaser. And if you're going to do Pace Chaser, I think this is actually a pretty decent setup. The other option is, of course, if you have enough materials, you can actually raise the characters this thingy here and get all the skills. If you get all the skills, then they come with this. Spechan will come with this. Oguri will come with Oguri will also come with this. I think that's called Gourmand in English. The anime version of Tokai Teo does not come with that. The anime version of Tokai Teo has Race Planner instead. But she also has this. I don't know why you need both, but so with these, you actually don't need to worry about recovery skills, and things would be a little bit more different. But if you don't have that, and I'm assuming that you don't have those skills yet, you want one gold recovery skill. And if you want one gold recovery skill, then you have basically two choices. One is to get Super Creed, and rely on Super Creek to jack up your stamina level high enough that they can run even long distances. Because all three of them have to run the Arima Kinet, which is a 2600 meter long distance race. So they will need one gold skill. And many of them, I think two of them, Tokai Teo and Special Week, will run the Tennosho Spring, which is actually a 3200 meter, the longest distance G1 race. I think the longest distance race in the game is a 3,600 meter race. But for those races, for the 3,200 meters, if you want to win, you need around 500 stamina and a gold recovery skill. And if you're doing the Triple Crown, the third of the Triple Crown is a 3,000 meter Kikkasho, and the Kikkasho requires you to run 3,000 meters, and again for that one you're going to need a gold recovery skill. And for that, I think the minimum requirement will probably be something like 300 stamina and a gold recovery skill. So until you can actually raise your characters to get the gold recovery skills, I would suggest this kind of setup where you have a special week, two SR speed cards, and Super Creek to actually get the thing. Once you actually get the gold recovery skill, then you don't need special. Then you won't need Super Creek, and you can borrow whatever you want. The other option is to borrow. Where'd you go? Borrow the event version of Special Week and get Gourmand that way. This one here. Alright? But if you do this, then you're not going to have enough, what do you call it? You're not going to have enough stamina, so you want to actually use two stamina cards. Because the stamina cards are not maxed out yet. So you have one stamina card here, and maybe a stamina card like this. Now, one reason why I think this is actually a good choice using Kiryuing, I don't know what level Kiryuing it is because I couldn't see that, but one reason why using Kiryuing is actually a good idea is because Kiryuing will actually raise your mood when you need it. So if you're down on energy and you're down on mood, you can actually use Kiryuing and she will actually jack up your mood. Not for every single one, but in the bit. So it's not too bad, and she gives you a lot of skills. One of the options basically gives you a lot of skill points, and skill points is actually nice to have, especially in the early part of the game. Tazuna-san is probably better because Tazuna-san, I think in the second, oops, but I don't think you have Tazuna-san, so she's good because she actually will get rid of bad conditions that you have. So in the very earliest stage of the game, she was a good character to have in your deck because whenever you had like bad statuses like fatness or laziness or whatever, you can use her card and you get rid of those bad statuses. So but as the game goes into the future, the bad status problem basically gets resolved. The devs realize that having too much of a bad status thing is too much of a stress for the player, so the devs actually begin to get rid of that. So that's actually a good thing. And eventually you can actually get rid of bad statuses just by going out and during summer season. So you spend one summer season, you just eliminate all the bad stuff that basically your character has accumulated. So that's one option. But anyway, until that point in time arrives, using Kiryuin I think is a reasonable option. Now one question was, how do I get the money and the support points necessary to actually like raise these things? Once you've been playing the game long enough, you get a lot of support points, but I do remember that in the early part of the game, you do have to basically just grind. Just have to run a lot of races. And I think when you complete, you get like a big bonus. So I think everybody has Sakura Bakushingo. So she's like a useful character to actually just keep grinding and get a lot of things. Get a lot of money, get a lot of support points that way. But the first thing to do is to get Kitasan Black to level 45. Once you're at level 45, the third of the bonuses basically gets unlocked, so it's actually really nice to have. Kitasan Black, you will unlock this ability at level 45. So once that's unlocked, she's pretty much usable. Once she's at level 50, she becomes insane. But at level 45, she's perfectly usable. So level 45 is what you want. The other point, if you don't have it, is level 35, where you get the power bonus. So as a general rule of thumb, support cards are designed in such a way so that a fully leveled up SR card is almost always going to be better than a level 30 SSR card. The SSR card is nice because it gives you a gold skill, so that's why you want that SSR card. But a fully leveled up SR card is going to be better than a level 30 SSR card. Now certain SSR cards are going to start surpassing SR cards at level 35 once you actually get one boost to this. Fortunately, if I'm not mistaken, Silent Suzuka is not that good. And I can't actually get rid of it. But Silent Suzuka isn't bad, but she's not that good at level 35. So the next moment when the SSR dramatically changes is at level 45. At level 45, SSR cards are almost always going to be better than an SR card. That's when SSR certainly are the case. Now, below level 45, SR cards are still pretty weak, and if you're choosing between a level 40 SR card and a level 30 SSR, it depends on the gold skill that you want, right? If there are skills that the SR card gives that the SSR card doesn't give, then go with the SR card. If there's a gold skill or skills that the SSR card gives, then go with the SSR card. But in the beginning, you wanna stack up the deck in such a way so that you like overload on certain things. But in hindsight, not hindsight, in thinking about this, I think the the best option would probably be, for now, go with a level 50 Super Greek. I don't have a level 50 Super Greek. I only have a level 35 Super Greek. don't worry about that. Go with the level 35, level 50 Super Greek. Go with the level 50 Super Greek. I mean, there are going to be people with that out there somewhere. And then do 3 speed and 1 int and Kiryuing. Or possibly 2 ints. You could do 2 ints. If you're willing to basically just suffer through the bad events, just do the 2. And if you're doing Sakura Bakushingo, then you just do like I would do 4 speed 2 int because you're just doing Bakushingo, so it doesn't really matter. Just race through the thing and get out of the way and accumulate money that way. I think for the what do you call it? The fine motion, SSR fine motion. Fine motion would actually become usable at level 35. Once you hit level 35, I think fine motion. She's gonna be temperamental, so you might want to actually have like 2 int card or 2 wit cards, and fine motion and nice nature would basically be enough to actually jack up your wit high, really high. If you don't need the wit to be that high, then just go with nice nature for now. Or if you have level 35 fine motion, just use level 35 fine motion. That's what I would do. So I hope that helps. If you're doing like a sprint racer like Sakura Bakushingo, you really don't need to worry about stamina. It's just something you don't need to worry about. This is because the game is designed in such a way so that it gives you 400 stats to plus 400 to every single stat while you're playing the URA game. So while you're playing the while you're doing the scenario, you get like a plus 400 boost to all your stats, and that plus 400 boost is enough for Bakushingo to basically run the short distance races. So what happens is that once the URA is over, then you have a character that's basically done, right? So when you have a character that's done, like this, this is like the first character, this is like the oldest character that I got, that stamina is your stamina. You don't get the 400 boost. And if you're running a mile, 500 stamina is actually not enough if you're a runner. You will start walking at the end, which is why I got the gold stamina recovery skill here. And this one is for the 2,000 meter Tennosho fall. And to make sure that I run the Tennosho fall for sure, I got 2 gold skills, because at int wit 400, I was pretty sure that one or the other would basically fail. So 700 plus the gold recovery skill was going to be enough for me to run that. And the same goes here. So this is the 2,500 meter Arima Kinen. And to run the Arima Kinen, I needed not 700, but I needed 900 stamina plus 1 gold recovery. And because I couldn't rely on the gold recovery to proc reliably because my wit was low enough, I chose 2 gold recoveries, so that even if one fails, I get the other one. This was a short distance race, so this stamina was high enough, so I didn't care about that. And this was a dirt race, and this Oguri was running as a pace chaser, and 700 stamina was enough. So this is 500 stamina, that's not enough. 700 stamina was enough to run the mile. So as the time goes on, the game is going to inflate the stats, so you can actually run these things. And then this was no. This was for, what was this for? It's a medium distance race, but she was able to fully run it at 700. Why was she able? Oh, sorry, because my guts was high. Yeah, so guts too low, right? So the higher your guts, the easier it is, the longer stamina goes. This grass runner was, I think it was a 2,000 meter race, was able to run the 2,000 meter race without a gold recovery skill. Alright, so I hope that helps. once the champions meeting is going to be announced, once the champions meeting is announced, they're going to talk about they'll tell you the distance that you're going to run, and once you know the distance that you're going to run, you need to know that you'll find out what stats you'll need. You can actually look up the stats you need. Now, if you speak Japanese, or if you can read Japanese, rather, to be more precise, there's actually websites out there that will give you, the stats that will give you, how much stamina you need. I imagine something like that will come out in English sometime soon, and or it's already out. I haven't looked into that yet, but it's a stamina calculator. Maybe if I look it up online. Stamina calculator. Okay, I don't see anything, on a quick Google search just yet in English, but it'll show up. If the stamina calculator doesn't show up in time, email me again once you know the distance, and I can let you know if your speed is, close to 1200, how much, and if your guts is this much, how much stamina would you need to run whatever distance. I can put in the stamina calculator for you and give you the numbers there. But I hope that's been useful for you. I know also that you talked about sending out some of the 1-star and 2-star characters. The same basically goes for them as well. I think the hardest 1-star character to complete on the URA is probably King Halo. King Halo is probably the hardest because you have to pass the Derby, which is a 2400 meter race, and that's actually pretty long. That's almost a long distance race, because the long distance race is 2500 meters. So you gotta run the Derby, and you gotta place within like a certain place. But then after that, you have to run the short distance race, in which speed is the most important skill. You have to run the Kikkasho, but Kikkasho you don't have to actually gain 3rd place or 5th place, and you just have to run it. So you could just like get 16th place, and it's perfectly fine. But after you run the Derby, you have to basically do well in the short distance races, and so getting that balance right is really, really hard. So I think King Halo is probably the hardest of that. The other characters generally tend to fall within their comfort zone. Like Urara basically runs like the short distance and the mile races in the dirt. Nice Nature, Winning Ticket, Machikane Fukitaru. I think these all basically run the medium distance / long distance races. So you know that from the beginning you need to actually prepare for these two. No character basically jumps up and down in terms of the distance like King Halo. Oguri does that to some extent. Oguri runs both the mile and the long distance, but Oguri has a recovery skill that's built into her, so once you actually unlock that, it becomes really easy. So there you go. And once the champions meeting comes out, then you got to start thinking about grandparents and parents, which is gonna be really annoying. I hope there's some sort of like a website out there that basically accumulates, or that basically tells you who to use for your parents. We have that in Japanese version of the game, the Umamusume database, Umamusume DB. I don't know if there's something like that in the English game. Maybe soon there will be. I remember before the Umamusume DB came out, I used Twitter. People would always constantly talk about the horses and the sparks that they got on Twitter, at least the Japanese Twitter. Oh, sorry, X now. And so you could just look up X, and people would basically post, "Hey, I got this spark," and you go, "Okay," and then you just follow that person. You get their trainer ID, you put it in the game, and you're, voila, problem solved. So you might have to use X/Twitter. But that's in the future. Which champions meeting is it going to be? I don't know. I suspect that if it's on this accelerated schedule, the first champions meeting is going to come out in August. And if it's August, there's no G1 race that's associated with August, so it could be anything. Now, if they do September as the first champions meeting, there is actually a G1 race that's associated with September, and that is the sprint. So they might do the sprint, but I highly doubt that because most people simply don't have the ability to field 3 sprint characters. So it's probably going to be the Derby. That's my guess. Okay, I could be wrong on that. It could be the Satsuki Show, which would be the 2,000 meter. No, that's fine too, right? They might do the Satsuki Show in August, then the Derby in September, and then the Kikka Show in October. Well, that kind of makes sense, you know. That would work as a reasonable schedule. And then in November, they might do a mile race like the Mile Championship, and then in December they will do the Arima Kinen. I'm almost 100% sure that in December it's going to be the Arima Kinen. This is a Japanese racing game. December is going to be the Arima Kinen. You're just not going to get away with that. That's going to be the case. 2,500 meter race. Alright, so that's it for now. About 20 minutes. I'll see you guys in the next video. And if there's anybody else who wants advice, let me know. And I'll give you any kind of advice I got. Alright, take it easy guys. Bye bye.